You've stumbled into another nostalgic void. Drifting, searching with your rose-colored glasses. Fear not. What an Oddcast is here to guide you. With hosts Jared Minikheim, Anthony Denny, Michael Kennedy, and Sven Magnuson. Stay odd and hold on tight.
Welcome back to What an Oddcast, episode 303. And most of my life, I've been trying to find shelter from the storm. I'm your intro man, Maverick.
Ba weep, brown weep, ninny bog. I'm the Mexican on Ruffney.
Wow. Carved upon my stone, my body lies, but still I roam. I'm Jared Minikheim.
I just want to let you all know that you all had the opportunity, like I did, to do the funny thing in the intro, and that is look up 303 lyrics, because that is what episode we are on, which is what I did. So
Black dress with the tights underneath.
that was my second option. I looked at that and I tried to do something a deeper pull.
Honestly, that's the
Daisy
only
Dukes.
303 song I know off the top of my head.
I couldn't find the one that was on my running playlist, and it just disappeared apparently. And so I had to like sort through like all these sound familiar, but like besides the First Kiss one, I was like, none of these make sense at all to me. It's gonna get fucking hot this weekend, guys.
Oh yeah, we have a heat index until Tuesday.
I have a run
hearing...
at 9 a.m. tomorrow, and it's supposed to be hot by 8, which means it's not going to cool down, which means I'm going to explode.
Remember, I got dibs on all your stuff.
Yeah.
On your cool stuff.
Yeah.
Regardless of what my wife says, I got dibs.
You're going to have to clean the basement and keep it clean. My stuff is pristine.
Well, I mean, my basement did get a nice wash. Let's start with that.
That's one way to put it.
So, for those who don't know, did you put the videos on the TikTok?
Yeah, there's a video up there. Yeah.
So for those who don't follow the TikTok,
got a lot of comments.
I had a great adventure. I came down to grab my shoes so I could walk Hunter in the morning without having to put on socks. And I came down and there was a puddle of water, like a quarter of an inch deep. And I'm like, oh, fuck, because we had really bad rain. So, and it happened now. For those astute viewers, might notice that my shelves behind me right here are differently organized,
slightly off kilter.
Because fun fact about this little square where the water was. Pool's right at the bottom of the shelf. The only one that has a full cover bottom.
He did get lucky in that aspect.
Yes, I did get lucky. I got lucky because I have a rug underneath. Well, I had a rug, and majority of that was absorbed into that rug. So thank God for that rug. It is trash now because
the real MVP.
Yes.
The rug.
And all the cardboard that I had broken down to get thrown away also helped absorb a lot of the water. So, I had a really nice. I lucked out. Could have been a lot worse, but that was fun.
The amount of comments that video got of people saying, "Hey, just because you're not seeing damage doesn't mean there is. Hey, you should take apart that other shelf too, just to be safe. Hey, that damage could spread to the other shelf." The amount of fucking comments I got, god damn it.
Also, Anthony's very aware. Those are particle board shelves from like Target and Walmart. Water touches them and they're done. He knows, guys.
Oh yeah.
He might be dumb, but he's not stupid. Like, look, it's gonna smell.
Let me see if I can adjust the camera. I don't know. If you look right here, sorry for the audio listeners, you can see it touching. Let me point. You can see it touching that wall. And if you look as the gap goes, it gets wider. That is because it got warped. And like, look how wide that gap gets. But if you look on that side, it's tight as shit. It gets wider as it goes up. So, I am fully aware I did check under them. I did get like a towel, and I had a box fan clearing out the air overnight. So there's no.
See, he knows what he's doing.
Yeah.
Except when it comes to basic home maintenance, that he's a little iffy on.
Well, what happened was like the grass clippings got over the drain, and then the water raised and all that.
I said it like, and this is not a dig at you. It is just a dig in general. It is one of those like home maintenance things that you don't think about until it happens. Like checking checking the smoke detectors and carbon monoxide detectors, and checking the drain, and like doing like the basic things that you need to do once a year for your fucking house.
The funny thing is, that drain, the builder did not originally put in there, which we had to call them back out because we're like, no, you need a drain here.
It's an egress window, yes.
Yep. So yeah, it's a good thing. I might get some like a screen just to put over the top of it, so to help grass not get in there as much. But every time there's gonna be a big storm, I'm definitely gonna come down and make sure that it's nice and clear before it gets above. Yeah, so that was fun. So yeah, it took me like 2 hours to put all my Transformers back on the shelf.
That's just
but though I do appreciate all the comments that I have not seen. Warning.
I can tell.
I do appreciate it because it's concern, it's care. I know people are worried about it. But luckily, I have an unfinished basement, so it all just pooled on the concrete. Yep.
Well,
no. The worst part is I lost my rug, so now I got cold feet.
Oh, you poor baby.
I know. And then it didn't help that Nova had a stomach pain that night and went to bed at 3 a.m.
Oh,
so I took Thursday off of work because I was like, fuck that. I'm running on 3 hours of sleep. I ain't going to work or else I'm gonna
The issue is he took that day off, but it's a federal holiday, so I can't imagine that your guys' office would have been busy at all.
You
could have just went in and just like sat at your desk for 8 hours. Yeah, exactly.
I missed my coworker getting attacked by a bat.
I take it back. I'm so glad you weren't in there, because if that was me, I would have went home and then burned that place to the ground.
I got a text
to the ground
at 11:39. Now,
at
this point, I've been up for like an hour. I Heather left. I went back to bed. So I've been up for about an hour. You missed me getting attacked by a bat. And I was like, oh, that's hilarious.
What a texture right there.
Yeah. It was also treat day, so I missed out on all the treats.
Now that's the real tragedy right there.
Should have just went in and sat at your desk. That's what I would have done, especially on a federal holiday.
Look, if I wasn't a greasy boy, I would have went in at like a half day.
Could shower. Could have showered.
Could have.
Like,
that's a good point.
I know it's a good point. That's why I said it. There's a couple things that I want to talk about, see if we got some good talking points. And one, now that the dust is settled and we're 4 weeks late to talk about it, do you guys know what Dr. Squatch is?
Yeah.
Oh no, I know where you're going with this.
Yeah.
I believe it's a soap company, if I'm remembering correctly, Mike.
Like a sim company.
That's a good one, actually. And now that it's past its prime and everything, and the novelty has worn off, Sydney Sweeney was selling her bathwater soap, where it's like, like an eyedropper with like one drop of her bathwater in the soap, and apparently had a hole in the center of it, which it's funny, and I like if I were to do that to make money, I would absolutely 100% sell out. That's 100% what I would do too. Like, I'm not buying the soap because that does nothing for me, but like, good for them. Fuck it, absolutely. We need to start Can we get a really hot chick on this podcast and just be like, hey, try our Pinker Nutter Doobie Energy. It's fantastic.
Oh,
It's
it does
got-
have a hole in the center of it.
It's got Pinker Nutter in it, and just like it's got my Pinker Nutter in it, and we don't have to explain what Pinker Nutter is, right? We just let them know that her Pinker Nutter is in the Doobie Energy, and so that's actually smart. Who's got a really anyone? Jared, your sister, is she available? Can we get her as a spokesperson for the Oddcast Media Network?
You know what?
Here's the thing.
I'm going to be honest. You probably could if you had a lot of money.
We might, depending on how this deal goes with Doobie Energy. Like, it's much like pharmaceutical reps. We just need hot women. Like most of my life, I just need hot women as well. They just avoid me because I'm kind of fat and not that funny outside of like my inner circles. So like, but yeah, if you are a hot woman, chances are very slim. But if you're you know what? If you're a medium to okay woman, even, and you know what? 3s and above, we're taking 3s and above. God. If you want to apply to Jared at our email, send in. We just need a headshot, unless you want to provide more, and a contact information to become the new spokeswoman of the Oddcast Media Network. You know what?
Please send a sample of your bathwater to P.O. Box.
Yeah, no. Here's the thing. You don't even listen. If you identify as a woman, we'll take you. We'll take the whole lot of you. I will be sorting through them individually once Jared forwards them to me. I'm very lonely, gentlemen. This is why I bring this up.
Look, I gotta say, I was not desperate enough for the Belle Delphine bathwater.
Neither was I. I didn't know who that was. So I still don't know who that is. And I've spent a lot of money on certain sites, and I don't know who that is.
A gooner lady.
Sure. But yeah, so again, sorry, we got way off topic. Soap, good for them. Good for them.
For the audio listeners, I just want you to understand the look on Anthony's face when we started this story was the look of this is fake. And then in case you missed it, you could kind of catch him very lightly saying, oh my God, it does have a hole in it.
It actually goes incognito window first. If you listen back to that.
I don't want that in my search history.
That's fine. That's 100% fine. But again, the novelty has since worn off, and I don't care about it. So, but apparently it's sold out twice. So good for you guys. Good for you guys.
But for the listeners at home as well, my sister does do modeling. So I mean,
that's why I brought it up.
Onto something here. He's onto something here.
It's not like
I want nothing to do with it, but he's onto something.
He's estranged from his sister, but like she does. She is fairly attractive. So yeah, we get redacted on that shit.
Yeah.
Once you guys get back to the States, we'll get redacted on that.
Does she have an OnlyFans yet?
I don't know. I have her Instagram and Facebook just to keep in touch with her when I can, but if she does, she doesn't post it. So
yeah,
she's gonna be like, why do I have 40 new followers?
Yoki Pants' sisters.
Yeah, that's great, actually. That's great. You could do one of those bots and just steal all her shit and throw it up there. Like this is till you get reported for being someone you know or whatever. So yeah, that's great.
It's just gonna be me in a wig.
I'm fine with that too.
It's gonna be that account.
Still gonna need pictures. Still gonna need the headshots, and you better tuck it real good.
That case of hemorrhoids.
That was that one. I have other news, more in the TV world. Okay. One, we got the release date for the King of the Hill revival, and it's coming out soon after my birthday, and I'm very excited for that. It looks.
I'm very excited.
Okay. It'll be interesting to see how it plays out. But the more important thing is, you guys know what Lego Masters is?
Well, yes.
Yes. You know who hosts Lego Masters?
No.
Will Arnett?
Yeah, it's Lego Batman himself, Will Arnett, right? That's why he brought on, right? Do you know
What
he's
got me to
leaving?
watch it? I enjoy him.
He's leaving the show because he's done it a long time. Do you know who they're getting to replace Will Arnett? Don't Google it. You're thinking he's hosted TV before.
Lois Zandela.
Nope. He's a very prominent host for a lot of things.
Is it
Drew Carey?
No.
Is it the guy from G4?
No.
That
was funny as shit.
Is it Daniel Tosh?
No, I would actually like Daniel Tosh. He's too busy doing his podcast and raking in the money he got because Comedy Central canceled his contract. So, no. You're close though. He is a comedian.
Is it the guy on The Soup?
Nope. Damn.
I'm drawing a blank.
Is it Steve Harvey?
It is not, but you're getting closer with Steve Harvey. But younger.
Childish Gambino.
Little bit older, probably. Very prominent TV show host. He's an African American. African American host. Hosts a shit ton of stuff. Very prominent in our youth.
LeVar Burton.
No.
Yeah, that's the only other person I can think of prominent. I got nothing.
Oops. Nick Cannon.
Other than Steve Harvey.
Nick Cannon.
Oh my God.
Doesn't he have 45 kids to take care of?
Yeah, that's why
he's got to go on Lego.
That's why you got to get Lego money. Yeah. Apparently that was
that free deal for bits.
It's just like, really? He gets another fucking TV show? Isn't he doing America's Got Talent right now, too? Like, fuck all the way off. That's just not even worth it. But yeah, Nick Cannon's going to be hosting Lego Masters. So it's going to go, and it's going to go right downhill because the only reason people are watching is because he was Lego Batman. And I love Lego Batman. Yeah. So, no.
I just enjoy Will Arnett, and seeing him caught my attention enough, and I got into it. But Nick Cannon, I don't think I've been.
I would rather Nick Lachey.
So kid.
I wouldn't for anyone. Do you remember that the first movie you saw Will Arnett in is? Because mine is very prominent.
First movie I saw Will Arnett in.
Yeah.
I don't know. Honestly, I can't think of a single movie Will Arnett's been in right now.
I can. It's just deep in my skull. Which one?
I think one of the first ones was on that I recognized him by name. Was on TV, which was Let's Go to Prison. It was for me. It was like because I knew his name.
Does my ass look big to you? No. Liar! I ought to cut your lying throat the line. I'm a cow. A big, hip, fat, nasty, gelatin-ass, buttermilk making cow. You wear it very well. Oh. Thank you, sweet thing.
Yeah, mine was Blades of Glory.
There we go. Okay.
Where him and Amy Poehler. Yeah. Dude, they're the siblings. Yeah.
Together, and in our division, no less. Why, Strans? Why is God singling us out for the greatest suffering the world has ever known?
I don't know, sis. Those two are nothing but a couple of freaks.
Yeah, and the media loves freaks.
Makes my blood boil. All they're doing is just leeching the dignity out of our beloved sport.
You know, I'm.
That's the first place where I saw Jenna Fisher as well.
Same. And what John Heater without being Napoleon Dynamite, which was a nice reprieve.
I'm mentioning it now. I am invoking the Oddcast curse. The Oddcast curse.
For anyone involved in Blades of Glory or Let's Go to Prison. So
invoking it now. That way we don't kill Will Arnett.
Dies of a heart attack.
Yeah, no, it wouldn't be that. It would be what's the coach's name? It's the coach from Coach. I can't remember his name. He's in. Fuck is his name? Want to make sure
Craig T. Nelson.
Craig T. Nelson. We got to make sure we mention him and the Oddcast curse together because that man is fucking old, and we don't need him dying on our dime.
I mean,
No, I got to meet a
Wow.
guy from Napoleon Dynamite. Not anyone important, but I got to meet him.
I hate that movie
What the
with a
fuck?
passion.
I got to meet the bully who's
Oh,
who
okay.
Pedro's cousins come and threaten. He came to my school to talk about bullying,
That sounds about right.
and he used clips from the movie to describe bullying.
Yeah,
He's a
that
cool
sounds about
dude.
right.
I would have loved to have met John Heder or Heater or Effer.
So, since we were talking about things that aren't in the mainstream anymore, but I don't know, we're just here. So, I have some opinions on some things that came out.
What's new?
I don't know how everyone else feels with it, but I didn't say anything before because we just had a lot of shit to talk about the last 2 episodes. You should have listened to those by now. Wink, wink. Anyway, I watched I watched some new shows and things that came out. One of them I wanted to bring up because it was so hit and miss, and there's just a couple skits in it that I was like, I've seen this done before. You're doing something I've already seen. But Bad Thoughts came to Netflix, which was Tom Segura's idea for a show. And there is quite a bit in there that, being Sergeant Redacted, we laughed a bit at. There was one sketch in particular that I'm going to call out because the where it's from is so burned into my memory that I can't believe that it was such a blatant, like, that's been done. Which he did a thing with son of a bitch. Will Sasso used to do it on Mad TV. Steven Seagal.
I'll say Randy Newman.
Yeah, no, Steven Seagal. Sorry. He did a Steven Seagal thing about like how he's just terrible at acting and he's just a very fat man and like he makes all these claims, whatever. And I was like, okay, but at the same time, I'm sorry, Mr. Segura. Will Sasso did the exact same kind of jokes for years on Mad TV, and yours had some funny moments with it, but nothing will ever compare to what was done there. That sketch particularly, I was like, this just seems like you're kind of doing something that was already done. A lot of it was sexual humor, so depending on how you feel about things of that nature, it may not be the show for you. But there were some in there that were just genuinely, it made me laugh. Him with the coffee, that's probably one that stood out to me the most because like I've definitely been there. I think it was kind of on the fence for me.
So do you know the origin of that show, Jared?
Not entirely, no.
Do you know Tom Segura's opinion on the country music singer Garth Brooks?
Oh, that I do, yes.
Yeah,
that one made me laugh.
That's the whole premise of the like that was his elevator's pitch for this show. Tom Segura is playing Garth Brooks. Like that
that sketch is
right? Fucking great.
Funny enough. I ended up watching his interview on Last Meals. Shout out to Good Mythical Kitchen because it was fucking great. I love that he questioned about that, and it was I don't know, who do you think it is? I think your imagination could tell you who it might be based on. I'm not going to say who it is, but
right. Great. Fucking great.
It was that one I enjoyed.
Yeah, I loved that
Just
one.
So out of touch.
The whole premise of the whole thing was that, like, some of the skits were hit and miss and things like that, but that one fucking when he did that, that blew my mind. I'm like, God,
it wasn't something that I hated at all. It just, I don't know. I felt like it was a show that I don't know. I feel like it was so hit and miss that I don't know if they'll do any more of it.
Probably not.
Yeah, also, I guess we'll see. Well, I've heard him say he might, but
knowing Netflix, if people like it, they'll cancel it. If they hate it, they'll give it 15 seasons.
Yeah, people. So it'll be hit or miss. So who knows?
True. So I just wanted to bring up because I forgot to bring up that I had watched through that when it came out. We just had so much shit. Also, Hastings, I'm sorry you had to deal with Kid Rock. I'm sorry. We talked about it last episode. And editing the episodes, I'm just
apparently
sorry,
it was
Hastings.
very good. There weren't a whole lot of incidences. Everyone was fairly respectful.
I'm actually really surprised.
It just was like,
I honestly am.
I don't think that the city of Hastings, I don't think it brought in as much money as the city of Hastings thought it was going to bring in.
Because no one went into town.
Yeah, no one went into, you couldn't get into town.
Yeah,
Traffic
you know
backups
what?
for hours.
So my coworker, she went there. First off, she didn't realize that it was going to be so political. She didn't realize like the politicizedness behind it.
They showed Trump on the big screen, like giving the speech and shit.
Yeah, when she
I'm
bought
sorry.
the tickets,
You didn't think Rock
Rock?
the Country
No,
was
Kid
going to be a super political thing?
No, she thought she was going
American
to see
Eagles on the
Nickelback
poster?
and Leonard
Kid Rock.
Skinner.
Kid Rock.
Yeah.
Like
Kid Rock.
Kid Rock.
So
One of the most politically charged musicians. You don't think it's gonna be?
no, she didn't.
Fucking
So, but
Joker
apparently it took her 3 hours to get in
On Saturday or Friday?
Friday.
See, my work mother went on Saturday because she wanted to see Kid Rock, and they took a shortcut. They went. So you know why Irvine Road is?
Mm-hmm.
So Irvine Road cuts basically right next to the fairgrounds. So they took Middleville around to get into the curve. So they were in line a grand total of 30 minutes parked and were seated for like the entire thing. So they got very lucky and found the workaround. But like, people said Saturday was much better than Friday.
Yes, that's what I heard from the people who went.
Yep.
Jared's still laughing. But no, apparently because when Kid Rock came on the show, she's like, he sang a song. And then he talked for 10 minutes about Donald Trump.
Yeah, he did.
Then he sang another song. And she's like, I went home.
It was it's Big and Rich, I think, was on Saturday as well. Or maybe it was on Friday. But Big and Rich sang a song, talked about veterans and veterans affairs and like supporting the veterans, even though our current administration is trying to cut all their funding. It's fine. And taking care of our veterans, and then sang another song, and then got off. And people were like, you guys had an hour and sang 2 fucking songs. What the fuck did we pay all this money for?
Mm-hmm.
So
Yeah, Nickelback must have been real happy.
Nickelback, I think, played 4 songs. They had a half hour.
Oh wow,
set,
so they played the most.
Yeah, they had a half hour set.
I hope they didn't play any of their hits. I hope they played like Animal.
I was gonna say they brought like the 4 Nickelback songs that I know. They didn't sing any of them. I'd be pissed.
Do Photograph. Fuck you, we're doing Animal again.
Do Rockstar. Fuck you, we're gonna do Animal again.
Animal 4 times and leave.
Animal 4 times and left. But yeah, everyone was fine and respectful. No one had anything bad, but it like again, it's a very red county, so like you weren't gonna get a whole lot.
Mm-hmm. My favorite little side story is Heather. So Heather went grocery shopping on Saturday morning, and which it was fine. It was a ghost town. No one was coming in. No one was going out.
0 people on the road Sunday morning.
I thought it would just be more of the traffic of whatever going on that might make that chaotic.
Nope, nothing. But it was great because she overheard a guy going like, I don't know. I don't think I could drink today. And it's like 8 o'clock in the morning, and he's shopping at Walmart.
Oh my God.
I went to the gym Sunday morning, and then went to Starbucks afterwards, and the people were just like getting up and like leaving their camping. Like the amount of people that I packed, that you can clearly tell they're like, we just really want to get home. Things just strewn in the back of trucks, nothing really zipped up, easy up, just collapsed, and like they just need to get home. Everyone's hungover, so
Jesus Christ.
it will not be the last time that happens now, I guarantee you, because it went over so well.
It went so well. I'm pretty sure this next time they'll just do the roads better.
Yeah, they just need to have traffic stopped and
Mhm.
just funneled through. So
And that means Hastings gonna have to deal with a bike competition, and every time Kid Rock wants to roll through town. Hey guys, I'm just rolling through. Thought I'd give you guys another show. Come on now. Like, damn it, the Joker's back, guys. Just all right, everybody, just put on a
everybody
Batman
calm
outfit.
down.
Let's go
Yeah,
deal with
everybody
this.
calm down.
The thing I was worried about is Hastings
Joe
had
don't want to be.
its own No Kings protest,
Yeah.
and I was like, oh my god, I hope these two crowds don't run into each other.
They wouldn't know. They wouldn't know what to do with themselves. So
Luckily, they were far away from each other. But my favorite thing was like, oh, why are they doing the No Kings thing when Kid Rock was coming to town? How come they did that? Why are they protesting Kid Rock? No,
because they're dumbasses. Just
Yeah.
let them be
People
dumbasses.
will pick anything.
People are dumb.
yeah. People
Doing
are dumb.
Just all bad.
Let's see what else I got in my notes. Like an animal. Music news. That kind of ties into things that we all talk about, but mainly just for Mike because Mike is an old man at heart. Have you guys seen Seth MacFarlane's new vinyl? His new album that he dropped?
No.
So, do you know anything about? We've talked about it before, but anything about Seth MacFarlane's music career?
Yeah. I thought
yeah, I was supposed to say just from what we mentioned, yeah.
For some
what did
reason,
he?
I had Seth Rogen in my brain, so I
No,
apologize.
Seth MacFarlane. Seth MacFarlane. He is a big band Sinatra singer, right?
Yeah.
He recently purchased basically Sinatra's entire unreleased catalog.
Ooh.
And with Sinatra, because again, if you remember, Frank Jr. was in a few episodes of Family Guy there at the beginning before he passed.
Yes.
He put out a new album of songs that were written for, by, and with Frank Sinatra on an album with the blessing of the Sinatra estate. And so it's a really good album. I enjoy Seth MacFarlane singing. Like, I enjoy all of his albums, but also like a dear family friend who passed a few years ago was a huge Frank Sinatra fan. And so like I grew up listening to that music. And so like to hear like new music, it is a wonderful album. I recommend anyone check it out. So if you don't like big band and jazz, you probably won't enjoy it, but just give it a listen because it's worth it. They bring that up because again, we talked about the 400th episode of American Dad coming out because again, Seth MacFarlane has all this money because he has fucking 7 of the longest running fucking TV shows going right now.
That would fair.
So, yeah, I just wanted to bring that up. Shout out to that because I was listening it today and it's actually very good.
Yeah, I mean, I've sang some of the Rat Pat on stage before, so I get it.
So there is something else I want to bring up that is in pop culture at the moment. So if you listen to this early on Patreon, hey, how you doing?
What's up? Thanks for your dick.
Speaking of dick, actually, so me and Redacted have talked about we want to go see 28 Years Later. Now, I avoid spoilers like a son of a bitch when it comes to things I want to see. I will go out of my fucking way. The only thing I have seen about this with no context, and people are purposely posting it with no context, is just apparently, from what I've gathered, without the context, and I have no fucking idea how this happens, but apparently there's just some infected beings who come running at them buck-ass naked with huge hogs, and that has been everyone's post is giant dick, naked gorilla running, and they're like, no context, beginning of this movie. And I'm like, what the fuck happens in this movie? This is everyone's no context post.
I mean,
Good
it
for
makes
Danny
sense.
Boyle. Good for Danny Boyle.
Honestly, it's a callback. Remember how 28 Days Later started? Killian Murphy, big old schlonging hog.
it's still just one of those things where I'm like, why the fuck is this the post coming out? Everyone's posting no context, but it is just this shit. What the fuck happened?
Big old cock and
So
balls.
I have to go see it so I can know what the fuck is going on.
Yeah, there's a lot of movies coming out in July that are on the list. There's at least
Oh my God.
6 now, right? That because like I still haven't
There's
seen the
too many
Phoenician Scheme.
fucking movies this summer.
I haven't seen the Phoenician Scheme yet, so that's on the list. We got Superman, Fantastic Four,
Yeah.
Jurassic Park. I sent in the chat or I sent it to you, the Abraham's Boys or whatever, the fucking Van Helsing Dracula movie that looks really fucking good, and the and then 28 years later, like fucking 6 movies. There's 4 weekends, motherfuckers. What do you want me to do?
Well, technically, 28 years later comes out today.
Yeah.
Yes.
So you could go see it today.
But I'm not going
Maybe.
to. That is a daytime movie for Maverick. That is like
See it with all the
noon
lights
o'clock
on.
movie. I need it when they're doing the autism one for like lower sound and bright lights, please.
Give me the Cillian Murphy popcorn bucket. Or the Rumpelstiltskin popcorn bucket. I forgot the guy's name. It was in the second one. Oh, give me the Jerry Renner popcorn bucket where he's on fire.
Jesus criminy.
Agreed.
The only other thing I've heard, it wasn't spoiling anything, but it was somebody who was talking about that it has really high 28 years later. Sorry for everyone listening if you're confused what I'm talking about. It has really high reviews, but I have seen someone say if this was a standalone movie, it would probably be one of the most unique and best infected zombie type movies they've seen.
Sure.
They're like, but however, this leads off for the second movie that they're making. And then apparently if the second one does well, they also have a third one planned, but it's dependent on this one. And they're like, this one's done really well, so the second one will be happening. But that's my only nitpick is it would be really, really great if they didn't try to be leading it up for a second. If they had just cut it off, it would be a great sequel movie.
So here's the dumb thing they did then. They should have done 28 months later. And then 28 years later. What are they going to do next? 28 decades later?
I know what they're doing. No, I know what they're doing later, actually. There's 28 years later, and they show the bone tower thing. The second movie is called Temple of Bones. So that's what this movie is building up to, is whatever kind of thing has come in the apocalypse.
I don't like that. Why would they why would they
exactly
ruin the beautiful naming?
That's how a lot of people felt.
That's like a Rambo thing.
So 28 years later is, I don't know, I guess things got worse, and it's leading up to Temple of Bones, which is, from what I've gathered in the trailer, seems like a cult thing that has formed with what's left of humanity in this world, and that's what they're building for.
It happens.
But I haven't seen it yet. But that is the only thing I've heard, is just if they hadn't have done that, it would be way, way better. It's just they just did what they did. But I'm hearing it's good, so I got to go see it. But anyway, moving on.
I thought Mike was going to have something ready because
I thought Maverick had something too, and I was like, I'd probably take it from him. I don't want to cut into his list.
It's a 3-person podcast, guys. You guys got to come ready with lists too, okay?
Dude, did you guys see the Sonic racing game?
No.
Sonic
Racers?
Crossworlds.
Is it for the Nintendo Switch 2?
Nintendo Switch, Nintendo Switch 2, PlayStation 4, PlayStation 5, Windows, Xbox One, Xbox Series X. The characters, so you got your typical character, Sonic characters. You got your Sonic, you got your Eggman, you got your Cream and Cheese, you got your Blaze the Cat, you got your Big the Cat, you got your Tails, you got Shadow, and then And then they released, like, they had a video, their trailer, and it had their guest characters in it. I'm gonna read them, and we're gonna go from the most sensible to the wildest.
Sure.
So remember, this is a Sega game.
Yep.
So they are allowed to have all Sega characters. We have Ichiban Kasuga, which means absolutely nothing to y'all. That is the main character from the Yakuza series.
Sure.
Okay. I've heard the name. I just didn't know idea who the fuck it's from.
We have Joker from Persona.
Okay.
Remember him in Smash Bros? Speaking of Smash Bros, we
I
have
do.
Steve from Minecraft.
Oh yeah.
What?
And Creeper
What are
from
these-
Minecraft. But
What are these cameos in a
Oh,
fucking
wait.
Sonic game?
We have the greatest character to be revealed, Hatsumi Miku.
Jesus Christ.
And the best part is you
All right,
don't have
guys.
a $500 console.
All right, guys. So the fans want another Mario versus Sonic. What do we got? How about fuck them, sir? How about we just make a racing game and throw in a bunch of random bullshit video game characters? Fucking genius!
Oh my! Have you not seen
Don't
their
even
previous,
include Mario. Everything but.
dude? Their previous Sonic racing game, it's wild. It had fucking the Team Fortress characters.
What the fuck is going on with Sonic?
Danica Patrick. So that should tell you.
Why? Why is this what Sonic chooses to do?
I don't know. It was wild that just Danica Patrick.
Yeah, that one throws me off. Like, I'm sorry. What? Did she make a deal with fucking Sonic? Of all the
Clearly.
things you could make a
Bro,
money
well-
deal with?
Well, see, you wouldn't make a deal with Sonic. You'd make a deal with Sony.
Hey, let's go.
So-
Well, you make a deal with Sega.
Sega, that's what I meant. So
you want to get my
probably-
racing game? Give me some chili dogs. By the way, I like the Astartes behind you, Jared. Why do you got a Space Marine shoot you in the head?
Because Redacted has those posters, and he just doesn't do anything with them. And I was like, well, there's a door there, and they have a plastic cover. I'll just throw a little bit of tape. We'll just throw them up. Just pocket. Actually, do something. I also watched Friendship, and I enjoyed it a lot.
Of
I
the Tim
had a
Robbins
great time
movie.
with it. Yes.
Yeah, if everyone said it was really good, I just don't. I don't like Tim Robbins all that much, so like it just didn't.
See, thank you for bringing this up. That gives me my point. This is a fun movie only if you enjoy Tim Robbins'
Yeah.
humor. If you
I
don't
don't-
enjoy his humor, it is not a movie for you.
I
You
was
will
never
not
a fan
enjoy it.
of what is it? I think you should leave. Is that
Yeah,
his?
see, I love it.
I
I love
see,
Detroiters.
it's got-
I love I Think You Should Leave.
it just wasn't for me. It's not for me, and that's fine.
And that's fine.
That's fine.
That's fine. It is
Not every
Fine.
movie's for everyone.
for everyone at home. If you haven't seen Friendship, I can describe this movie to you without spoiling a goddamn thing. Take a serious toned movie about a serious topic, then just literally take Tim Robbins' character in anything you've ever seen him in, and he's just been inserted in a serious story. That is the whole movie. It is just Tim being Tim with his awkward, cringy way he does things, and
Heck yeah.
everything else around him is a serious toned movie. And if you're not into Tim, it will throw you off and you will fucking hate the movie. So that's understandable. He's just a very specific comedy type. So it is very much, if you don't enjoy him, that movie will not do anything for you. And that's perfectly fine. But yeah, I watched it the other night and I was like, oh no, I get it. I get why people like this. Okay. This is literally just him in a fucking just pick serious movie and he's just in it. I get it now. I also watched Clown in a Cornfield, which was the indie horror that got released out to theaters. And that was interesting. That was a recommendation from Dead Meat. Just because he posted that, I think about like, yeah, it's an indie movie, go support it, blah, blah. It's actually really fun.
Sure.
It was actually a pretty good time. It was unique enough. I liked it.
I spent $40 on a vintage toy so my son can play with the Blue's Clues toy.
I'm sorry, fucking what?
Yeah.
Get him a notebook.
No, I got him one of Orion's favorite character in
Oh yeah, you said that. Yeah.
Blue's Clues is Mr. Salt and Mrs. Pepper.
I think it's Mr. Pepper. Mrs. Salt.
It is not. I can tell you. I'll explain how I can tell that off the top of my head. So
Don't really care.
So he really wanted a Mr. Salt and Mrs. Pepper toy.
Uh-huh.
However, nowadays they're either a stamp or the ceramic salt and pepper shaker.
Correct.
Which not good toys for a 3-year-old. So I went on eBay and I found a vintage 1998, which hurts that is vintage, because that's younger than I am. Salt and pepper shakers, like rattles.
Yep,
which is great. And I got those. They took forever to get here. And it's very funny because it's Mr. Salt and Mrs. Pepper and Paprika, their baby. And you can put Paprika into Mrs. Pepper.
That's just...
He has a seam on the side. You unvelcro it, shove the child in, and shut it. It's so fucking funny.
Baby's first C-section.
Yeah, and now they have 4 kids. Because Orion is watching Blue's Clues and You, which is the modern one. It's not bad at all. But they have 4 kids now. Dude, Mrs. Pepper just won't get off Mr. Salt's dick.
Well, when all you do is season food and that never happens, what else are you gonna
Clearly, they have the spice in their relationship.
They have triplets now, or I thought Paprika
Twins.
has. What are all their? It's Cayenne.
There's Paprika, the oldest. There's Cinnamon, and then the twins, Sage and Ginger.
The issue I have with all of that is I would not consider Cinnamon in the same
family
group.
It's not a
baking spice, not a herb spice.
Yes,
I realize salt is a rock
no.
and pepper is like some sort of nut or something like that.
Corn.
But like, yeah, it's a seed essentially.
Yeah,
sage is a seed.
Yeah.
It was a cayenne. What is it? Sage
Cayenne.
what? Cayenne and sage. Ginger. Ginger is a root, and that's fine. Ginger and pepper kind of go, but like cinnamon is a baking spice.
No,
That's the one that's got autism. It's the odd one out. It's got the extra chromosome.
I don't want to be mean
That
about what I'm about to say, but is clearly so it really stands out because they gave him a backwards hat, and they kind of he's like supposed to be like the cool,
appropriated.
Youthful,
Culturally appropriated.
Yeah.
Cinnamon's culturally appropriated.
Yeah.
Cinnamon.
I have to check to see.
Christ.
I'll have to find the episode because it happens on, I'm sure, with Joe.
Sure.
The episode where Cinnamon appears to figure out the lore with that. Because let me
Well,
tell
that's
you,
easy.
when you watch
Cinnamon
Blue's
showed
Clues
up.
and You, after
Yes,
watching Blue's
Cinnamon.
Clues season 1, you'll notice that season 1 of Blue's Clues and You, starring Josh De La Cruz as Josh, uses a lot of the same plots, almost beat for beat. Which is like the same first
I
episode.
have something to talk about.
Blue's Clue is like, oh, what do you want for a snack? Oh, we're missing something for our snack. And Blue put her paw print on there, and I'm like, it's gonna be fucking milk because that's what it was in the first episode of Blue's Clues. But it's also really
Was it
cool
milk?
because Josh, the Filipino, calls his 2 cousins to help him figure out what Blue wants. Josh calls Steve and Joe, his 2 cousins.
Yeah. Yeah, I watched one of those episodes with your son while I was over there babysitting, and they went to the gift store.
Uh-huh.
And Josh, nope, Joe runs the gift store.
Mm-hmm.
It was real fucking weird to see him. Like,
Steve went to college and got his criminal science degree, and he's a detective.
yep.
That makes sense.
It's a good
Like-
way to rope it in.
Yeah. Yeah, that makes a good
Makes
sense.
sense. Yeah, it's a good way.
Again, it's a
Oh,
very short man. I kind of feel bad that I didn't get to meet. I should have met Josh. I should have known where I was going to love Josh the most, and I didn't get the chance to meet him, get a signed photograph.
Hmm.
Come back to Michigan, Josh. I need you.
I have an opinion. Sparked my brain. Speaking of things that copied. Well, it's more tight. Speaking of a new series and a franchise that just is copying the stories of something that came before it, I made a realization the other night, and I have something for all the people out there, and it might be controversial. I don't really know.
Hot take
'cause
incoming. Hot take incoming. Can't wait for this to be the most lukewarm thing Jared's ever
It is
said.
after. It is
It's
after
gonna
June,
be for you
so
guys.
Be
You
careful,
guys-
Jared.
I know neither of you are into the show or anything, and I've given up on fan bases pretty much as a whole because
You should never
it's just
like them
everyone
anyway.
gets toxic, so I gave up. But Dexter was I made a realization the other day. The reason I don't like Original Sin, and for everyone at home, take it how you will, but I realized the reason I had such an issue with it wasn't just him trying to retcon shit for the fuck of it. Most of that season, after rewatching seasons 1 and 2 of the original Dexter, it just copy and pasted the same fucking shit we had already fucking seen, and they just made it young Dexter and young Deb, and I didn't catch on until I rewatched, and I was like, oh no, these are literally the same exact fucking plot points of seasons 1 and 2, which doesn't make any fucking sense, because then how the fuck are you going to tell me that like 20 years later from where this series is, he has the same fucking thing happen and then acts like a dumbass of like, wonder how I get out of this. It doesn't make sense. You fucking jackass. You can't make the same fucking story with a dilemma that's a huge dilemma for the killer if you've already fucking done that in the series you did before when he's older. That's bullshit. It's something I just didn't catch on until I rewatched the original one. And then I was like, oh no, this is the same fucking shit. I just wanted to get that out there because I've seen people talk about it was great. It was not a great series. I appreciate the people who are acting in it, but it was not. It retconned too much, and then that pisses me off. That's all I got there.
Get that off your chest. Are you drinking Dr. Pepper,
Yes.
the worst soda?
Excuse me?
Yeah, Dr. Pepper, the worst soda. I don't like Dr. Pepper. I tried. I want to give it I want to like Dr. Pepper. So many people like Dr. Pepper.
Yeah, but I'm also a vulture and will eat and drink just about anything, so I can't be
I-
trusted on opinions.
It is the second highest selling soda. I'm right.
I ate
behind
half a fermented muffin. I can't be trusted on anything.
half. Like 3.5
Yeah,
maybe.
yeah.
Um,
No, it was just a half. Just half.
It is yeah, I just don't know what it is about Dr. Pepper. It just doesn't taste to me. It doesn't.
Hey, that's fine. That's fine. Everybody has their own things. It's just what was in the fridge, and there wasn't a second water, so I just grabbed that because it was cold.
That's fair enough. That's fair enough.
So
how'd you eat half of a muffin before realizing it was fermented?
well, you see, it was. I've been staying up super late,
Not a good
just doing the editing of episodes and whatnot. It was probably about. So I woke up in the morning, I walk out, and I had made blueberry muffins just like maybe 3 days before. And I was like, you know what? I'll just have a muffin this morning. Instead of like cereal or whatever, I'll just have a muffin. I can just get a head start on the shit I want to do today. I ate half the fun. They're like little muffins. So like took half of it and then immediately was like, this doesn't taste right. And then I smelled the other, and then I smelled the half that was in my hand, and I realized like, oh no, from now on, we got to put things in the fridge. And then I threw it all away. Because fun fact, here in Guam, is it's getting hot back home, which is crazy to me that you guys are getting Guam levels of heat.
Why wouldn't
The other problem with Guam, not only is it like 85 to 89 on an average, it's also 75% humidity. So like, I made cake and it was fine, but apparently blueberry muffins did not have the same lasting effect.
Fruit in it, you dumbass.
Yeah, that humidity there did a number on those blueberries in like a 2-day span. Luckily, there's only like 2 left, so my fat ass ate most of the rest of them. So it's not. I make things thinking Sergeant Redacted will actually eat something for once, and then he never does. And then I feel bad that we're gonna waste money, and then I fucking eat it because he'll look at it every fucking day and then be like,
"Well,
yeah,
tell
have
your
some
husband
later."
you don't feel
Never
appreciated,
fucking
and you need to start eating your shit.
I've slaved over a hot
Slaved
stove.
over a hot stove. And you
I
didn't
actually
even
have done that
care.
before.
I got my hair
Jokingly,
cut,
I have
you
done
didn't even
that.
notice. I've gained and lost 30 pounds, and you don't even care. Somebody has to like me best.
Hey, I just need absolutely
Foot
nothing.
Man, right? Yeah, there you go.
Just need to come in a sock.
Use a sock?
No, I use your mom.
Oh, froze.
Wow. A mom joke. How original.
I know, right? In 2025.
Redacted talks about fucking my sister all day, so it's talking about fucking my mom doesn't really do anything.
Yeah, but the thing is, I haven't.
Doesn't
given a
faze me anymore.
chance.
No, my mother. For those of you at home, my mother and stepfather love Sergeant Redacted more than their own son. Like that is their son, according to them, because they love him way more than me. So he stands a better chance.
He's not quite as much of a fuck up, so that makes sense.
Hello. Well, I'm just saying because I'm actually in the same location nearby your mother, as opposed to Jeremy, who lives across the ocean.
I'd cross the world and melt with you.
Look, there's only one person I'd cross the world for, and that is my beautiful wife.
Lies.
No, I can't think of
Lies.
anyone else. Look at me like that.
So anyway,
Fucking freak.
anyone have anything else that's happened to him over the week, or any kind of like, without getting into, serious topics, because there's way too much of that. We're here to make people feel better sometimes.
Let's see. No. My daughter woke up with a bruise on her face one day. We still don't know how she got it. Really nice bruise under the cheek. Don't know how she got it. Just one day I was like, she got a bruise on her face. Where'd she get that from? Yeah, she's definitely a Denny because she's clumsy as shit. I told my coworker about the banana splits today.
That's so dumb.
Oh my god.
I have never seen someone laugh so hard. Because everyone was talking like, oh, because one coworker was like, oh yeah, it'll be 20 years with me and my husband. And then she was like, oh yeah, my parents have been together for blah, 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 blah years. I'm like, my parents were together for 8 to 9 years. Can count it on my fingies. And I'm like, oh, that reminds me.
And then you bring up the banana splits, and everyone realizes you're.
Which I have
real
to. I
special.
have to bring that up with my. I have to bring that up to my sister to see if she remembers it, and I have to bring it up to my mom to know if she found out ever about banana splits. Because it's such a funny name.
Actually, I'm pretty sure way back you did ask your sister, and she did remember it. Your mom is the only one you had not asked.
Oh, I will have to ask her.
Gotcha.
Because it wasn't like it was after school or anything, and even if it was after school, my mom worked. We would go from school to the rec center, so like we had time after school to dick around and do shit.
Fair.
So
Banana splits. That's such a fucking. You're.
shout out to
they're
the best in the West, School of Henderson, Las Vegas.
I guess there is. I guess there was a bit of an update on Guam since we last recorded. Just for the people at home, since apparently, as Maverick puts it, there's people who apparently care about what happens to me in Guam for whatever reason. It's not anything to do with that, but whatever. Y'all need to find someone else to
invested in your story. People are still hoping it's Germany and you guys get married. There's an ongoing pot.
Yeah, there's a plus and over.
Yeah, there's an over under on whether or not it's Germany and you guys get married or not.
No. So please no.
Wait, you're not moved yet.
You're not in charge of this.
Yeah, you're not moved yet.
Well, neither is he. So
I tell them there's like a 4% chance, and they're like, "So that's still a chance." I was like,
saying there's a chance.
So you're saying there's a chance. Bum, bum,
Well,
bum, bum,
speaking
bum,
of, actually,
bum, bum, bum,
who knows?
bum,
Who knows if we'll actually move at this point? Who knows?
There might not be
Who the hell
there might
knows?
not be an Ohio to go back to. Probably safer on your own little island.
Honestly,
That's a conversation we've had a few times now. But no, it's Guam right now is we're in a bit of a shutdown because
No shit.
oh, something going on.
world tensions.
Did I miss
So
something?
we were recording last week on episode 302. Again, go to patreon.com/oddcast and go listen to it early. Yeah.
Yeah.
So we finished that recording. I get off, and Redacted and me we're gonna go head out, do our grocery shopping, and errand running, whatever the hell we had to do.
Sure.
I finish,
Good.
walk out of the office, and I'm like, all right, let's go get the shopping done. Let's get everything we need to, whatever. And then I'm immediately greeted with, yeah, we're not going to be able to do that. And I'm like, huh? And then it turns out that there's a bunch of non-friendly ships and things that have entered areas around Guam. And that for those who don't know, Guam is run mainly, everything's run basically by the military of the United States here. It's a very small island. So the bases have the best prices. They have the best options for things because they can import easier, whatnot. So everybody typically goes to the bases to shop. All the bases are shut down. And even military people are having to go through extensive things to even get in the base. Because at the moment, it's at the threat level of, hey, we're a tiny island and we don't have a way to really defend a whole lot. So we have to be on lockdown until things that might be dangerous leave the area. And that's to be determined. So I can't go anywhere with Redacted and actually shop or help with shopping or buy anything because I can't go anywhere that things are right now. It's really great. It makes me so fucking happy.
Yeah.
I love making a list instead of just, I know what I need. I can just grab it while we're there. It drives me fucking nuts. I hate it.
Yeah, it's fun. I heard a rumor that the boys have got, that the good boys serving our overseas and working hard in the military got steak and lobster.
Yeah, they did.
Yeah,
Hey,
that's
guess what, bud? It wasn't just back in the States. You know where else they got it?
where.
Everywhere. everywhere in the globe that has United States military, every single one of them had that meal. I got that confirmed.
So, fun fact for those who don't
Means
know,
only one thing.
that means those soldiers are about to have a really rough time via deployment, going into active dangerous zones, things like that.
Yes.
That is what steak and lobster means. So if you see your military go like, yeah, you go, no.
I actually brought this up to Redacted because there was a video that came up on TikTok with a girl who was like, look at what the army feeds me. Oh my God, look guys, baked potatoes, lobsters, steaks, burgers, and then cut to another guy who had been in the military and he goes, who's going to tell her?
Yeah.
Who's going to tell her? They don't do that for no reason.
Ooh.
Yeah. I'm
Like,
glad
about
I'm
to have a
slightly
bad
too
time.
old to be drafted now at this point.
Yeah.
Here's the thing. I love you both, but like if they all of a sudden were like you have to, I'm fine with that. I'm at a plateau with my weight loss journey right now. Someone yelling at my face might just be the motivation I need.
Look, if I got drafted, which I won't due to many different reasons.
I mean, if they're desperate enough.
Are you kidding me? I'm too brown. I'm on the deportation train.
Yeah, good luck having infiltration. You're going to be a paratrooper and going to be like deep state enemy there, bud. Sorry, you're going to be on recon. You're just brown enough to be Middle Eastern, basically.
Fun fact: some of the Quayars, and there's a great picture of them, were paratroopers. A good number of them. So,
how good are you at acting? We're sending you in.
Water?
Oh,
it's like you're offering me water, but I don't think you're actually offering me water.
Water.
Water? Who am I? Francie, who am I? Water?
Big steak for the rector.
Oh God.
I'm happy that I live in a
there's
small
something
town
for
that
you.
won't get nuked.
You don't know that.
They're not going to nuke Hastings. They might nuke Detroit.
Yeah, well, that's a good thing because we don't go to Detroit.
We don't go to Detroit.
We don't.
But yeah.
Well, I mean, unless there's a concert or something on the outskirts of Detroit,
Nope,
then we
don't go to Detroit.
we make an exception for Comic-Con. But past
that was Novi. It's not Detroit.
It's
We were
not
in
Detroit.
Technically not
Detroit.
As long as it's not in Detroit.
We were an hour away from Detroit still, bud. 10 miles and an hour away.
Look, there's only one reason I go to Detroit, and that's if I had a friend there who's like, I'm stuck in Detroit and I can't get out, and I have no other options.
Start walking.
No, that turns into Escape from Detroit. Is what that turns into.
Yeah, and that's
you
only
got to find
last
Kurt
result.
Russell and you got to get the hell out of there.
The first thing I'll say is like, did you Uber? Did you try anything? No. Try. Get out of Detroit first, and then I'll come get you.
Nah, maybe.
Nope. Ouch. I got nothing else, gentlemen.
Nintendo.
I don't think I have anything else too, except for maybe the Switch 2 is one of the fastest selling consoles of all time.
Fuck off.
That's how it be. It's the Switch motherfucking 2.
Damn it, people. How much is that? Is just people buying it so they can try to resell it?
Couldn't tell you.
Yeah, well, we'll see. Although prices should not be super terrible.
They're the same as always.
They're not going to lower.
They're never going to lower it.
Tariffs are going to go away.
They're not going to lower it. Doesn't matter.
They're not going to lower it. They're not going to lower it.
That's the thing. Is they raise it because of a problem, and then they're like, "Oh, the problem got solved." Well, we're not going to lower it now.
Nope.
Oh, I'm aware of that, but like at least things that come out of anything else coming out might, maybe just maybe we can avoid too much Probably not, but hopeful thinking. I don't think I had anything else. So we talked about covered that.
Kind of a slow week. Talked about a lot last week. You're not gonna get 100% all the time out of us, right? Like, there's a lot going on. Like, we all live busy lives except for Jared. He's busy being a housewife. So, but he's been editing podcasts and doing a bunch of extra shit on the side too. So even he's busy.
Yeah, we're now his side pieces.
Essentially, he's got so many other podcasting friends. It's not even funny.
You guys will always be my mains. But no, I was on another show. Good Morning Earth had me on for their paranormal pursuits. When that comes out, I'll repost it. You follow us on Twitter and Facebook, all that stuff, Oddcast Network, and you can find it. But no, I just got spotted on some trivia, got my ass handed to me.
Jared realizes he's not that funny.
No, I'm bad at being put on the spot. So, like, literally, thank God there's no video for that show because. Thank God there's no video for that show because there was a lot of times where, like, I was clearly thinking of what the answer was, but then I forgot that there was a separate thing to push to buzz in. So I kept forgetting about that because it was on a separate screen, and I was like hyper focused in on what we were doing, and then I kept forgetting I have to actually push a buzzer. And
yeah, it's not like one of our Oddcast game where we just stick around.
I'll give you a spoiler. It was not a close victory. It was at one point it was like 30-4. So
and they're like, "Damn, is this the best thing that podcast got?"
But no, they actually did enjoy having me on there a lot. They let me do my lightning round even though I didn't win, just because they wanted to see if I would do that, which I did. It was Slipknot trivia. I got most of them. I think I only got 2 or 3 wrong, and that's just because they were very niche questions of like who the fuck would know that. That's very niche. But no, go. So yeah, I have that. Go check out Jokey Pants Has Bad Taste. He's got constant stuff there. Patreon.com/oddcastn, because I have like 3-4 Bad Taste episodes up early there. You got 301 that was up there 2 weeks early. 302 is going to go up here tonight after I finish editing that, and you'll have that a week early. This one, 303, of course, that'll be up there early. I got a ton of shit that I have ideas of things I want to record and do. And they'll be on Patreon first, so just go check them out. Follow us at Oddcast N, Oddcast Network, everywhere else. TikTok, What an Oddcast. You get clips and behind-the-scenes stuff of his Transformers or Maverick on a walk and finding a Fey trap or
Fey traps,
which he's a bigger man than I am.
Here's the thing. Jake was gone this afternoon, so someone got taken by fairies. The smiling little face that's the potato dude, still there. Was enticing. It's been a rough week. I was like, well, maybe take me to Arcadia, motherfuckers, and let me roam amongst the fairies.
Should have done it.
Maybe next time if it's still there. But yeah. Can't win them all.
But with that, folks, as always, you got to stay on, stay happy in this crazy fucking world. Find what makes you happy, stay on, and we'll see you on the next week.
Fun. Laptop song.
See ya, everyone.
Bye. The fuck?